All right, here we go. Quickie video, but a video where I repeat some stuff again. But it's interesting to see. Oh, I put two N's in tankie. Sorry, I didn't even see that. Yeah, breadtube tankie debacle. Yeah, I think it's interesting to say the least where this pitiful internet bullshit has gone. You know, the whole mug breadtube, and of course breadtube doesn't exist or whatever, a la people like Peter Coffin, who now puts out more low tier bullshit content with a co-host who, like I say, she's about an 8 roughly. It's like, if you've seen the podcast or whatever you want to call it that Peter Coffin has, that chick is about an 8, maybe a 7 or an 8, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but you know, we've seen this whole breadtube versus tankie debacle, and what have we seen from it? What have we seen? You know, primarily, I'm going to simplify it to one point: China. They have both become anti-China for different reasons. Breadtubers will say that Mao Zedong may have had some points, but ultimately we're going to support American imperialism, and basically we're going to farm this current generation, which is majority. Most people follow breadtubers; they don't follow the tankie gang. We're gonna funnel them into the Democratic system and keep them voting Democrats, so we can make some incremental changes and then eventually reformism. Whereas, what have the tankies done? They'll say, well, China used to be socialist. It's not anymore. Primarily, there's some folks who are out there still simping for China, of course. There are folks that have made their careers on it. You look at people like Daniel Dumdrill, or you look at, Chinese nationals. You look at that guy, Xiao Yu, for example. I think that's who it is. They have made their careers on being pro-China. And you could say the same thing to a point about, I genuinely can't think of it. I don't care. I used to follow him, but the thing is that this is the singular point where it's just like, well, China used to be socialist under Mao, but, since then, Dangism is all, revisionism, this and that. Oh, we don't like China because they work with capitalists. So instead, who do they simp for? Well, they simp for Maoist parties that are irrelevant. They simp for, some rando groups in the Philippines or some rando groups in India. That's a reality of it. And of course, Caleb Maupin as well is still fairly pro-China, but he'll give lip service to American patriotism to try and hook somebody in, but it's not really working. And that's why I see this debate ultimately. Like I say, I didn't want to make this a whole long video, and I'm going to try to wrap it up pretty soon. But the thing is that it's a pitiful, pitiful display on both sides. The breadtube folks basically just rolled over and said, yeah, America may not be great, but it's better than China. Whereas the tankies are like, well, China used to be great, but it needs to have another revolution. And it should be done by like Maoists and stuff like that. Some random groups that don't really have that much power. So they've both kind of made, one has basically been absorbed by the system. The other is going to become irrelevant. That's how I see it anyway. I know that people will disagree and say, no, you're limiting it. What about this person or that person? In general, that's how I see it. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoy this. See you later. Goodbye.